What's up team? Mikey Bell here with Outdoor Adventure Training. 2024 has arrived and with it, a boatload of snow. We're just getting back from a pretty epic backcountry mission in the Mount Shasta wilderness. We were slaying POW, we were camping in some pretty cold temps, but definitely reaped the rewards of some epic views and just a wonderful time to ring in the new year. Whether you're ripping laps at the resort or tearing up vert in the backcountry, having strong knees is critical for all skiers, which is why today we're focusing on just that, bulletproof knee workout for skiers. I actually really hate the term strong knees because you can't strengthen your knees. It's just cartilage and bone. But what we can do is strengthen all the structures around the knee that help stabilize the knee. Mainly the quadriceps, the adductors, the hamstrings, the calves, even our anterior tibialis, everything that connects to and around the knee is really where it's at for building strong knees that are injury resistant and gonna help you optimize your performance. So this is definitely a stability style workout, meaning we're not doing any plyometrics, we're not moving really quickly, but rather we're focusing on biomechanics and really getting that neuromuscular efficiency that I talk a lot about in our training programs to really beef up that stability around the knee joint. If you've been loving our workouts on YouTube, you're certainly gonna be stoked on our training programs. In 2024, we're rolling out a bunch of new programs. Head over to our website at outdooradventuretraining.com to find your perfect program. Now for this workout, you are going to need a few pieces of equipment, mainly something to step up and down off of. So I'm gonna be using my classic box, but we're also gonna need something smaller, which I'm gonna use a few plates to stack up off the ground. Use whatever is accessible to you. We're looking for something 8 to 12 inches, somewhere in that range. So a step on a staircase could be perfect. Or if you're doing this at a gym, find the smallest box possible. This is gonna be for a reverse step up, which is an amazing exercise to strengthen the knees. You can also increase the intensity if you've done this multiple times or you feel like you're ready for the added challenge in the form of holding some external resistance, whether that be a dumbbell, a kettlebell, or even a barbell. And lastly, you could certainly, if you want, use a Bosu ball to increase the intensity on some of these, and we'll show you how to do that as we get into the workout. So I'll open the Outdoor Adventure Training app, click on the Bulletproof Knees for Skiers workout, and as usual, we're gonna start with a lovely dynamic warm-up to get our body and joints ready, then a brief little isometric warm-up, and then 2 different circuits, 3 rounds each, and we're gonna be focusing a lot on the quads, adductors, hamstrings in this workout, and I hope you love it. So we're starting off on the floor with some 90-90 hip rotations. So I'm just sitting on the ground here. I've done this many times on this channel because I love this warm up. Got a 90 degree, leaning back on my hands, rolling over to the other side, working internal and external rotation of the hip. Getting that hip joint warmed up, even though we are focusing on the knees in this workout. Still a lot of hip stability involved. Anytime we're doing lunges and step ups, of course, we're gonna be working our glutes. That's what we do. Okay, squat hip rotations. I'm migrating into the squat position and just hang out here. If this is uncomfortable, you can prop your heels up, although we eventually need to work on our calf mobility, but I'm really just trying to rotate my knee in and external rotation. Again, another hip warm up. They are the biggest joint in our body, important to warm them up. I'm certainly feeling my hips after carrying a 50-pound pack for a few days, up and down a mountain. Love it though, no better way to spend a weekend. Okay, we're stepping up into some leg swings. So all I'm doing, swinging a leg forward and back. I'm gonna do these stationary, meaning I'm gonna work multiple reps on one leg. You could certainly step and alternate legs if you want. Sometimes working on your balance and coordination with this one is good. Other times I'm really just trying to get into the hip and the hamstring, stretch those suckers out. Switch sides here. Again, just warming up that hip joint. Okay, we got some walking lunges next. So striding forward, sinking down, and then with the leg that's back, that arm on the same side is reaching up and over. Back to center, drive off the heel of the front leg, switch to the other side. Man, I love these knee stability workouts. However, the things that feel it the most after these backcountry adventures is usually the hips. Probably a combination of sitting on the drive, carrying a heavy pack, moving up and downhill. Whew, definitely feeling it. Walking quad stretch. This one's particularly applicable today. Opposite hand, opposite foot. That helps keep the knee in good alignment. If you reach on the same side, tendency is to pull out. Yeah, doesn't look great. So opposite arm, opposite leg. Just subtly kicking my foot into my hand. That's gonna help deepen that stretch. Again, these are all active stretches. I'm not holding any one for all that long. Some balance involved. Okay, we got high knee hugs. So I'm bringing one knee up, lacing my fingers on the shin, pulling that up, switching to the other side. Getting into the hip joint with this one still, but also getting those knees warmed up. A few more, going the other way. This is an exercise where we're actually, yes, warming up the hip joint, but we're really warming up for our next dynamic stretch, which will be high knees. Trying to get the heart rate up a little bit. And I'm gonna be doing these in place because I got a tight space. Okay, so one knee up. Pumping the arms. Good for the heart rate. Get those legs warmed up. Make sure you're pumping those arms. Chest is up tall. Get them up. Whew, nice work. We got inchworm next. Catch your breath. Reaching down, trying to keep my legs straight. Walking out to a plank. You can do a push-up if you're a hero. And then knees are straight. Walking the toes in. Only go as far as you can, which might not be very far for some folks. And that's quite all right. Stretching out the posterior chain, hamstrings, low back. Should feel pretty good. Do a few more going back the other way. Out to a plank. Okay, one more for good measure. Why not? Okay, nice job. We're all warmed up now. We're gonna be doing some isometric loading to get started. Ignore all the, the exercises that are now live. Just uploaded a bunch of new videos in the app this morning. Looking good on the OAT app. Okay, so single leg isometric loading. I've done this before on this channel. This is just a great way to further warm up the legs, but we're really working on great biomechanics. So all I'm gonna be doing is balancing on one leg. I've got my whole foot flat on the ground. We just got 40 seconds here. Okay, so I'm really trying to bend that ankle, knee, and hip about as much as I can, keeping good posture through the upper body. And you could imagine if you're a skier, similar position, right? So you're gonna feel this in the quads, adductors, hamstrings, glutes, calves, everything in the lower body. Just try to stay bent, stay low. And then we're gonna switch right away to the other leg. Nice. Okay, I'm gonna face you for this one. Pay attention to what your knee is doing. Don't let it buckle in. It starts with the foot. Have a strong arch, okay? Driving that knee forward. My left knee is always harder. It's okay to have some asymmetry in the body. It's normal. Drive that knee. You might feel this in your calves. It's kind of what we're after. More so in a mobility sense. If you haven't been foam rolling your calves, man, we got to get on that. Okay, short rest. We're doing that same sequence again, starting with the right leg, now on the forefoot. This one's hard. Quite simply, all I want is your heel off the ground. Even a centimeter, you're gonna feel it. Okay, so here we go. And if it's too much, start with your standard or stay close to a wall so you can balance. But all I'm doing, heel off the ground, staying bent. You're certainly gonna feel this one more in your core because we're balancing, and your calves because it's concentrically contracted in this position. But don't lose sight of the glutes, quads. We're firing everything in here. Still keeping that knee out. Balance. Woo, right away to the other leg. I'll face you again, just so you can really see what's going on here. Heel is off the ground. You know, and you don't necessarily need to come way off the ground. Again, just even a little bit might be the place for you. And if it's way too much, just hold the standard load. Nothing wrong with that. Core is engaged, chest is up. Doing it for the powder days. There's many on the way. Forecast looks primo. Mount Shasta's getting hammered. Hopefully Mount Ashland gets some snow soon. It's been a rough start. Okay, we're doing a deep split squat. For those of you that know the knees over toes guy, he's all about this exercise, and I have adopted that, modified it slightly, utilize it for a lot of outdoor training programs. Amazing, amazing tool. Okay, so we're getting into a lunge position, split squat position, only a little bit longer, okay, meaning wider. Now what I'm really focusing on here is sinking forward and down. I'm trying to keep my whole heel planted on the floor, driving that knee forward, pushing back to center. I'm up on the back toe. My toes are both straight ahead, really sinking forward, back up to center, okay? So on the way down, you should feel the stretch in your calf of the front leg. You might feel a stretch in the hip flexor of the back leg, and then I'm driving through that quad, okay? This is a quad dominant exercise, undoubtedly. Make sure you're not overarching in the lower back. Core is staying engaged. Nice and slow. For this first round, I'm not using any external resistance. We'll see about the next couple rounds. Got some tricks up my sleeves. One more. So this is equal parts mobility and stability, which is why I love this exercise. One quick thing here. If you need the extra help, a foam wedge or even a block, something to elevate that heel, which will take the calf out of the equation, might be all you need to make this more accessible. Tons of way to progress and regress out of this. I personally am not gonna use that, but you could lift that up with anything. Use a book, whatever you need, okay? But the key is to keep that heel grounded. It's also a really good assessment. If you can't do this and keep the heel grounded, we got to mobilize our calves and strengthen the antagonist muscle, which is the anterior tibialis. Which we are doing in this exercise, by the way. Sinking down. Really try to keep that whole foot planted, balance. Balance is a big issue. Stand close to that trusty wall. Nice work. Okay, next we're doing the reverse step up. This is where you're gonna want a short little box, bench, step, stair, whatever you got. Let's see. That's about 8 inches off the ground. I'll start there for the first round. I'll get a little closer too, so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, one foot's on the step, the box, whatever you're working with. Same principles apply. Whole foot is grounded. Driving that knee forward and down. Back up to center. Nice and slow. Balance, still very much involved, but I'm not bending in the hip as much. I'm really focusing on the knee moving forward and down. This other foot just out in front, tapping. Nice and slow. Sinking it down. This one's particularly effective. Stretching out the calves, which is your gastrocnemius and soleus muscle. I'm also paying attention to my knee. I'm not letting it buckle in, externally rotated. Short rest, shake it out. Hopefully, even in the first 10 minutes of this little routine, you should be feeling this. Quads, hamstrings, calves. If you're not, regress, which means you might need to elevate your heel on this even with that foam wedge or another weight, plate, whatever you have. Okay, left leg. Ooh, definitely got a little instability on the left leg today. Not uncommon after a big adventure. Logged a lot of vert out there. Something close to 7K over the 2 days. Nothing crazy, but a lot of that was with a heavy pack, breaking trail, compounded by sleeping in the snow, which you've never done is an amazing experience. You gotta do it at least once. Or every weekend if you're a mountain guide. Pushing that knee forward. Really try to sink in there, using that quad to come up. Nice work. Get a quick drink of water, 40-second rest. We're doing that all again. So it's just 2 exercises. Simple enough, right? I'm gonna grab a dumbbell. We'll keep it pretty light. Maybe just 25 pounds. And I'm gonna do this, I don't necessarily need to move those, with the weight on the side of the standing leg. So what that means, if my right leg is forward, I'm gonna hold that weight on the right side. Okay, again, elevate that heel if you need to. If not, deep lunge position, knee forward and down. That weight's in my way. Love this exercise, man. So good. So effective for skiers. Also, all of our hiking programs, the trekking program that's coming out soon, all utilize this exercise as well. I think it's something that just about everyone should be doing. Really effective at staying mobile. Staying balanced, sinking into it, driving out of it. Be switching legs here. Now, of course, probably one of the most common knee injuries skiing is a torn ACL, right? Which is that knee caving in, which is why we want to get strong in that externally rotated position. A lot of people blow that. Really make sure when you're training this exercise, this knee staying out. I want to resist that force for if I fall or if I catch an edge. I don't want the tendency for that knee to cave in. I want my knees to be frickin' bomber out there. Oh my goodness, especially if there's a breakable crust. Shasta was gnarly on the get out. Had a weird warm mist right after the snow. Locked up overnight. Solid 5 or 6 centimeter crust. Unsupportable and absolutely heinous. But above 10,000 feet, it was primo. You had to work for it. Stay focused. Nice work. I'm gonna set the weight off to the side. I don't particularly like using the dumbbell for the reverse step up, but what I do like using is a medicine ball. Let's go with the 25 pounder. Like keeping it tough. Start with the left leg this time just to mix it up. Chest is up tall, sinking down, tapping. Again, you could also increase the intensity by coming up a little higher. But I find I don't really need a whole lot of range of motion. Just that little bit right there is all you really need. Keep that knee externally rotated, which again, just like in the isometric load, starts with the arch. If your foot starts to collapse, everything is caving in. Stay externally rotated. Ooh. Man, a lot of new exercises uploading this morning. If you want to see those, check out our training programs. Okay, switching legs. To be honest, I'm starting to feel that in the glute, and you should too, which is amazing. Again, that external rotation to prevent that internal rotation, that ACL movement, a lot of that's from the hip, okay? So while we're focusing, strengthening the structures around the knee, it's all in the hips. So for those of you that are wondering what's coming next, we got one more round of this, and then we're doing actual step ups on the box, paired with a single leg sit to stand squat. 2 ass kickers, honestly, because they're working the glutes. Keeping that knee out. It's not a lot of motion. It's almost embarrassing that this gets difficult, but it sure does. Working on that range of motion. Oh, nice work. Woo, short rest. One more round of that. Doing great, team. Stretch it out, shake it out. I'm gonna add something different this time for the deep split squat. Let's add a level of instability with the Bozu. If you don't have a Bozu, don't worry. You could certainly keep doing what you've been doing, but I know we got a lot of Bozu lovers on this channel, so it's only fair to incorporate the Bozu. Okay, so same thing. My foot's gonna be planted on top of the Bozu, and you might elect to have a wall or a dowel to keep you grounded, but same thing. I'm working on driving that knee over my toes, back up to center. I find with this one too, I can get almost deeper range of motion because that front foot is elevated off the floor. Make sure you're really focusing on your knee and your foot with this one, staying on the outside edge. Love this variation. Couple more, team, hang in there. You should feel good. Hopefully an added challenge. if you're using the Bozu. If not, and you've never done these, doing them on the floor is quite all right. Okay, we'll switch to the other leg now. Get set up here, up on that back toe. Even just holding this position can be tough for a lot of people, myself included, depending on the day. Pushing that knee forward, driving through the quads. You could certainly do this on the Bozu and hold resistance. I do elect to do that from time to time. However, today is an active recovery day because many powder days in the future. Chest up, core engaged, externally rotated, driving through the full foot, not just the toe. Oh yeah, couple more. Sinking in there. Last one. Whoa, nice work. Okay, last set of reverse step ups. Let's get this in tight, team, so we can see it. I think we're done with the Bozu. That might have been its one appearance today. Don't worry, we got a ton of Bozu content on our channel. We're not shy on that. Here we go, chest is up, driving knee forward and down. Whoa, almost forgot my trusty slam ball. I want that extra resistance. For those of you that are unfamiliar with our training app, that little full video button in the corner, each exercise, which now we have over 700 in our program, has a 2 to 3 minute tutorial video, which is me demoing and blabbing about all the do's and don'ts. And I go very in the weeds with a lot of them, especially the really important ones, like this one. Okay, short rest. Switch to the other side. Definitely feeling the quads. Last set of these. Then we got a whole new circuit to finish us off. Doing good, doing well. Here we go. I kind of like holding this medicine ball up here. I don't want my grip to be the limiting factor. I can't say that I'm in my peak rock climbing shape right now to be holding something in my hands for 3 minutes. Definitely more in ski shape. And on that note, if you have ideas for content that you want to see, videos, tutorials, whatever, leave a comment below. We will get to it. One thing I'm noticing here is my hip is tending to push out. Don't let that happen. Drive that knee straight forward. Got to get that core engaged to make that happen. Which my guess is holding this medicine ball up there is really exaggerating that. Nice work. Okay, medicine ball away if you were using that. We're gonna get these plates out of the way. We're transitioning next to a single leg sit stand squat. You're not gonna need a very low box for this one, I promise you that. I'm gonna be using my 18-incher. Whoa, Fulcrum poles. They just wanted to shout out. Been using these poles a lot this season. Amazing. OAT clients, athletes, get 20% off. Another reason to sign up. All right, box. Gonna stand in front of it, single leg. It's like a pistol squat, easy. No, it's not. I'm gonna do this first set facing you. Okay, I'm working on sitting back, touching, back up to center. We got 60 seconds of these. Pay attention to what your knee is doing. Again, we're resisting that buckling. externally rotate. You gotta really think about pushing that knee out. And try not to do what I just did there of sitting down. Chairs are the worst. They're slowly killing humans. Don't sit down. Don't do it. Unless you're driving to go skiing. That's the only time it's appropriate. I'm actually very heavily considering selling, really, no, I don't want to sell them. Getting rid of all my chairs, all my couches, replacing them with Zafus and yoga mats. Okay, switch to the other leg now. I'm gonna change angles so you can see what I'm doing with the hips. Feeling those. Okay, so you should definitely still feel these quads and adductors, but more so hamstrings, glutes. Should be lighting you up, which if you need less of a box, even right here, is totally fine. In the sit to stand, don't get too caught up in the sitting. It's really more of a tap to stand. I need a little more ROM than that though. Amazing way to strengthen the entire leg. Very relevant for skiers, as this is pretty sport specific shape. One more. Nice work. Okay, 20-second rest. Don't get rid of that box. We're gonna need it. We're doing strength step-ups next. By strength, I mean we're gonna be hopefully adding some resistance. I'm gonna hold a medicine ball, and tempo is a big part of strength training. So for stability, like we've been doing, at very slow tempo is great. Strength, our goal is a 2-0-2 tempo. Here we go. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Nothing changes with the knee. Externally rotated in line with that second and third toe. I've done many a step up on this channel. In fact, I have a whole video, 3 uphill exercises. Step ups is one of them. And I'm sure you can guess why. I think for longevity, step ups have got to be one of the best exercises to be doing as we get later in life. I may only be 30 years old, but I'm always thinking about what am I gonna be able to do when I'm 70, 80. I still wanna go skiing on Mount Shasta, provided it snows. Down slow, one more for good measure. Short rest, okay. Hopefully you're getting the theme with all these exercises. It starts with the foot, keeping it externally rotated. That keeps the knee in alignment, gets us better hip, glute activation. That's what it's all about. It's simple, but it ain't easy. Chest up, externally rotated. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, and 2. Whoo! Feeling it. I love the medicine ball because it adds an element of core engagement and balance. Maybe the next set, we'll use some dumbbells. All this is plenty hard. I don't know if you all can hear that, but it's freaking windy out there in Ashland, Oregon. Woo, short break. We got sit to stand squats. I need a drink of water. Big wind advisory, winter storm warning. Don't you just love it when you go on NOAA, National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, and you click on that pin and it's red, winter storm warning. Those gotta be the 3 best words in the world right there. Provided your roof isn't gonna cave in. Okay, left leg first this time. Sit to stand squat. I'm not adding any resistance. These are plenty difficult the way they are. However, if you wanted to hold a ball, a plate, dumbbell, whatever floats your boat. But the true emphasis is what your knee is doing. Most people, it's gonna be on the eccentric on the down. This is gonna start to happen, okay? Really focus on that. Oh God, I just cheated. Call me out on that. Honestly, why I love these YouTube videos. Holds me accountable, holds you accountable. One more clean rep here. One more. Every personal trainer says one more. Right leg again. Okay, chest is up. Here we go. Try not to rock. I know it's windy when I start hearing the yak bell out there that I got in Nepal. That sucker's heavy and it's gotta be windy to make it go. Oh, starting to feel these more so in the hamstrings, which is amazing. Definitely plays a critical role in stabilizing the knee. One more for real this time. Oh, nice work. Short rest. We got step ups. Let's add a dumbbell. I'm just gonna go with one and hold it on the standing leg side. So in this case, actually I just did my right leg. I'm gonna be kind to myself. Switch it to the left. Okay, chest up. Pay attention to the knee. Up. Balance, down, slow. It's a great way to add resistance. Oh. Really the emphasis here is not so much quad, more so glute. Again, it's this big picture of all of these muscles working in synergy to create a strong knee joint. I don't think you could really have a strong knee without strong and stable hips. In my mind, they go hand in hand. Nice work. Brief rest. And switch legs here. Definitely not a high tempo workout, and that's all good, especially as we're getting into the heart of ski season now. We don't want to be blowing ourselves up with those gnarly black diamond workouts we were doing back in November. I like to think of these as a maintenance workout, and this is our final set, team. Make it count. Woo. Focus on that knee, externally rotated. And on the way down. If you have the means to do this in front of a mirror, that is the best way. Couple more. Last one to finish it off. Down slow. Woo! Nice job. Set the dumbbell down. Good work, team. Thanks for showing up today. That really is 90% of the battle for most people on most days. Just getting in there, putting in the work. Even these short 30, 40-minute workouts, they add up over the course of a month, a year. And we gotta start thinking long-term when it comes to training. It's not just about tomorrow's powder day. It's not just about next week or next season. It's 10, 20 seasons from now. How do you wanna feel when you're on the slopes? And it all starts right here in these workouts. If you still got more juice in the tank, check out our YouTube channel. We got a ton of short core workouts that are spicy, that are sure to leave your abs firing, get that dopamine hit. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, like this video, send it to a buddy that needs to work on some knee stability for this season. We thank you so much for all of our subscribers. It really means the world to us, and we're psyched to have you all here. Please leave us a comment. What do you want to see? We will film it for you. We'll make it happen. We appreciate you all, and we'll see you next time here at Outdoor Adventure Training.